In this video, I am going to do an intro overview, just like I did in person for several teachers that were able to make it. This is for anybody who wants to review all of that information or if you were unable to attend. First thing you want to do to access Schoology is to log into mycherrycreekschools.org. Once you are logged in, if you do not see Schoology under your recent line, then you need to go down here to My Productivity. Once you are in My Productivity, you will see the Schoology tile. Click on that and it will open up automatically. It looks like the school district can send out notifications at the top, which is interesting. I have not seen that before. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. When you very first log in, the first screen you will see is recent activity. You can change that and I will show you where you can change that. But the only other option that it will give you is the course dashboard. So I'm going to do a quick navigational overview. Recent activity is where anybody who sends out updates to any course that you are a part of. So if you are a teacher in another course, you would get updates from the other teachers if they post in here. Your assignments, any assignments that you have created for your students will be over here under upcoming. You can also click on calendar and that will also have things in there and you can see what, today is pretty obvious. You can also access calendar from clicking on this icon right here. If you click on the Cherry Creek School District icon up here in the upper left, that is your home. So it takes you back to this page. You can access courses by clicking on Course Dashboard right here or clicking on Courses right here. It will show you all of your courses. If you are not yet a part of CCA Sandbox, I will send you the code and directions on how to get in there. And it's fairly simple. If you click on your name, you have access to update your profile and also settings. I want to show you settings really quickly. So in here, you can change down here at the bottom, you can change what your home page is between those two that I showed you, the recent activity and the course dashboard. And you can also control what notifications you receive. They're between your email and your app. I do highly recommend downloading the Schoology app. You can turn off or on your notifications on a pretty granular level. The app is great because it has the ability to notify you right on your phone. If you want to respond or do anything with it, then you can. Up here, the little bell, you'll get a number over that when you have notifications. It just kind of pops up here and you can click on it and you can see what your notifications are. The envelope is when you receive messages back. And I will show you how to send messages as well in a little bit. I want to jump into resources now. So up here at the top, you want to click on your resources. This is where you want to create and or store your course materials. If you forget and you leave your course materials in a course that is archived, I had been told previously they're deleted, but they are actually archived. I can show you how to retrieve that. I can now also create a sandbox for you so you can play with and store course materials there. Create your course materials in a method that makes sense to you, either in resources or within your sandbox. I'm going to go through how to do this in resources now. I will show you in a course in a few minutes. This is just an overview of course materials. I will do more detailed versions in other video snippets that I have in the CCA Sandbox. In resources, you can add anything that you would in a course. The only exception is in an assignment, you cannot assign a Google document to a student because it's in your resources. So I advise creating or showing a link for yourself for your future reference so you remember what you want to assign with that assignment. So I'm going to add an assignment here. I would put the path. I'm going to create a test assignment. Now you can format it any way you would like. So let's pretend that is my assignment. I write out all my directions. I'm going to put the path. So I'm going to pretend that in my Google Drive, I have a folder called that. So I will remember where to link it from when I actually transfer it over into a course. I don't know if that is necessary for you or not, but that might be a good way for you to keep track of it. You could also link it right here. So let's pretend I had the link for it. I could hyperlink it right here. I don't, but I'm just going to link to our website just so I can show you what a hyperlink looks like. So here's a hyperlink, and then I'm also going to link down here at the bottom. So you can see how adding the link button at the bottom is different than the hyperlink. And if you attach that, so it shows up down here. If you want to see a preview, it will do that for you. You want to make sure that anything with an asterisk when you are creating an assignment or anything else, that you do populate that. On this case, if you don't, it will default. And I don't have any rubrics in here. So I'm sure will create rubrics, and we will go over that at some point as well, how to create rubrics and the learning objectives. And if you want to do mastery, how you grade and all of that, we will go through that. But for now, I'm just going to submit this, and it will default show up down at the bottom. If I wanted to assign or move this into a course, I click the gear icon to the right, and I can do add to course. And then I would select my course. I could do 2 courses at one time if I chose to. I'm going to put it into the one where I won't be bugging you guys who are in the sandbox. I can choose, put it in a folder if I want to, or just have it show up at the very bottom of my home page. When I am assigning it from here, I can do a due date. I can do what category it is, and you absolutely have to do that because there's an asterisk. So you can also create your own categories, and I will show you where that is as well. So you defaulted a numeric rubric, and I'm going to add that. You can also do more than one at a time by selecting them and going up here to the top, clicking edit, add to course. You will only be able to add it to one course at a time though if you have more than one course material. So since I put that in my course, I am going to go over into there, and it shows up here at the bottom. So when you move it into here, into your course, it will show up automatically as published. If you want to unpublish before your students see it, you can click Gear, Unpublish, Unpublish, and then it is unpublished. If you click on it here, you can click Gear, Edit. If you want to copy it to another course from here, just like resources, you will have to go into the other course and add your Google Doc to assign to a student. That has to happen in the assignment location. Let's click Edit. And let's say that this is my path, and I click on Google Drive Assignments. Let's say that I'm at my path. There's one document here I'm okay putting in. So I click on my assignment, I click attach. So it'll create a copy for each student. And before assigning it to students, you probably want to remove this path. They won't need that information in their directions. You can put in the due date, the category, you can change it here if you want to. You can also individually assign it. So you click on that, and you would type in the student's name here. And if you wanted to do several students, you could do that as well. And then you can save it. If you click on it now, it goes into where it is, where all of its information is. So you see the assignment. You can click on In Progress and see the status of everybody's assignment. This student hasn't started it yet, so nothing's there. If anybody has turned it in, those submissions would be here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the course. You can also edit here. So you click Gear, Edit. when you're in the course, since we're in the course, I'm going to show you how to add materials in the course. When you're in the course, you can add materials by clicking a green plus sign anywhere. So let's say you had an assignment you wanted to put here. You can click the plus sign there and add the material in that spot. I already showed you how to do an assignment. All of these things will have little snippets of in our sandbox. I will also have resources available for you to get more information. So I'm not really going to go through those right now, but I'm going to, let's say, add a discussion here. So I can put the title in and I can format, do whatever I want here as well, including link, images, any of that stuff. If you want to align it, individually assign again, and if I want to publish it, and then you create it. So we'll pretend it has all this information in there, but you can see it shows up right where I put the little plus sign. You can also add materials here at the top. The default location, again, is for it to show up at the bottom. Oops, I forgot to do my little asterisk thing. So you can see it just default shows up at the bottom. And then you can also drag it where you want it. So you click on it, hold your mouse, drag it, and drop it. And then it will save it where you put it. Now I want to show you how to edit your picture. We do ask that you have your course image, the background color should match what your students know that course to be. So when they get a school supply list, each course has a color. So students are asked to get folders and or notebooks in that course color for that subject. So I have those listed in our sandbox right here. So course image with course color. They have, here are all of the colors. So your background should match whatever your subject is that you are creating the course for. I have all the directions in here on how to do this. I did create several. I have not created all subjects yet, but if you wanted to use one that I created, you can. Here are the dimensions of that. I'm calling it a banner. And I used Canva to create the ones I did create, and it's fairly simple. But in a nutshell, super fast, all you do is click Edit Picture, find the image on your computer by clicking Attach File, and then you can edit your thumbnail and it will save it for you. When you are in your course, if you want to message maybe your entire class, one quick way to do that is click Course Options, Send Message. You can send it to everybody, fellow teachers, students, or parents. When you send that message, it will go directly to them. When they respond, you will see the notification up here in the envelope. It will also show up in your email inbox, and it will also show in your Schoology app if you have downloaded that, which again, I highly recommend. If you want to view the course as a student, you can do it here, and you can also do it here under Members, and you would click on the gear icon next to the student, which, as you can see, you can also send a message there, and I'll show that real quick too in just a second. But if you preview course as the student, this is what the student will see. So most of you are a student in this CCA sandbox, so this is very likely what you see. So here, if I'm done looking at it as the student, then I do need to click back to course. Otherwise, anything I click will be at the perspective of the student. So I click back to course, and if I go back into Members, to message parents, all you need to do is click on the gear icon next to the student's name and message parents. If you want to make a student into an admin, which you wouldn't want to make one of your students into an admin, but if you add a teacher into your course, they would first show up here as a student. You would click the gear icon, make admin, and that will change them from a student to an admin. I want to show you updates. So if you click on updates, this is where you can put a message that will go to your students in their inbox through their email, but also will show up here. In here, see, here's my message that you could see in my update for my course. You can also update right here. You can type up something and it'll show up. I believe if you do it here, it will show up to all of your groups if you wanted to. Let's see. So I can actually send it to anybody that I am a part of, any of the groups I am a part of right here. So if I wanted to send it to multiple, I can do that. So if I had 3 courses, this is where I would want to do my update to all of my courses. I can add links and I can format here as well. So let's go back to the sandbox. If you accidentally delete a course material that you would like access to, click on Course Options and then Recycle Bin. And once you're in here, you can go in, click the gear icon and restore, and it will show back up. Gradebook, we will go over that a little bit more later, but I want to show you what it looks like. And so it only shows students, you'll notice it does not show the teachers in here. So I'm going to give this student a grade. So let's say I gave that grade. If I wanted to see what it looks like for a student, so I just want to show you real quick. So that student, I go in as that student, I click on grades, and you can see what they would see. You have to click back to course and grade setup. This is where you would add your categories and where you can weight, where you can weight your categories. You can have your gradebook scale be numeric or alpha. You can round it if you would like. So if you want to override, you can do that here. And you can also hide the overall grade in Student Grade Report. I don't think you want to do that. I think you want the grades to be visible so that they're aware of what's going on. Students and parents will be advised that Schoology will also have their grades, and that should match PowerSchool. And badges can be a lot of fun. So these, I believe, are the default ones from the district. So you can create your own. If you click Add Badges, Create New Badge. You can also use Schoology badges, and you can import if you have some in your resources that you have created. So you can design a little one here, and you can add an image. So if you attach an image here, it can go in the middle. So you can play around with that and create your own badges. And those badges do stay with students until they are done with Schoology in our school district. Mastery will be blank until you set it up. So to start that, I'm going to go back into the course for a second and edit an assignment. Okay, so when you are in an assignment, so I've been playing with this the last few minutes. So I have already assigned one, but you go in, edit, and here at Learning Objectives, you click Align, and then you can align it to whatever of these you want. You can also create your own. So if you wanted to track some skill that was assigned to one of your assignments, you could do that here. Or you can do Common Core, you can do state standards. So there's several options. So I have already selected this. So you would save it. And then when you go back into Mastery, you see that that grade I put in a few minutes ago, it shows that the student has mastered it one time. That's what the little one is. And where you set the mastery settings is on the gear mastery settings. And you can play with this. So you can say where they meet expectations, exceed, and master. So I have it set for 2 times to master, but let's say I change that to 1. Now you see the star. So the star means that they have mastered it the one time that I said they needed to. If I have it at 4, then they wouldn't master it yet. So I'm going to change this to 85 and 95 so you can see what it looks like when they haven't quite gotten there yet. So you see that they one time got close, so they've done it one time, and they're supposed to meet expectations at 85, but their grade is 80, so they have not quite made it. So play around with this. We will go into it a little bit more later. And that's about it for this training. It is a quick overview, I know, and there's a lot to think about. We will touch on things more in depth, and I will continue to add resources to the sandbox. If you need any help or have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.